What's up, guys? I'm excited for today's topic. We're going to be talking about the character building phase that we all find ourselves in. It's a never-ending phase, and you may be in a deep phase, one of the hard phases of life, where things might not be going well for you. You may have lost a relationship. You may have lost a loved one. You may have lost a job. But I'm here to tell you it's just a character building phase, and I'm going to get into deeply why it's important that we go through this phase and how to have a right perspective on things going forward. So let's get into today's topic. What's up? Another day leveled up. It's your boy Salem, back with another one for you. So, the character building phase. I'm sure you may be in it right now because we all are. It never is done. The phase, the journey is never, there's no finish line. Even when we pass, I'm not sure what you believe, but I believe we go on to a different life and we live other lives. This life that we live is not a race. It's a marathon. If it was a race, I would have lost already. But it's a marathon. That's the only reason I'm even able to be here talking with you guys. So let's get into today's topic. So I'm sure you have grown up either with some type of insufficiency, either that be not a great upbringing, your home life wasn't great, didn't have your mom, you didn't have your dad, didn't have the best financial means, you probably weren't pretty, you probably weren't good looking, you were probably skinny, you probably had no social skills, you were probably shy. But I'm sure because of those insufficiencies that you grew up with and are now living and could look back in retrospect, you know what not to do. So it propels you to go in a different way. You may have been ugly by your standards. You may have been skinny. You may have not had the best financial means, not the best home life, parents and household. But I guarantee you, it propels you to become a better looking person, a more upstanding citizen, a better family member, to actually get your health taken care of. A lot of those people that are shredded and have great bodies, they once weren't in that place. They were either overweight or underweight. The people that look the best, they always didn't look that way. They went through some geeky phase where they got made fun of and called out, and they sat down and acquire the knowledge and perspective to see how to actually live and be the character that they want to be. We call it the divine paradox. There's always two sides of the coin, and whatever side you're on, sure enough, that pendulum is going to go so far in that direction and going to swing you back in another direction. And that's why you see a lot of people that come from hard times, immigrants, a lot of people who come with nothing end up succeeding and achieving things beyond the average human being or someone who didn't have that experience. I think it's funny that I grew up without a father in my household, and it's almost ironic that I'm giving advice to people as almost a figure of, I guess, authority, and people feel that they come to me for advice. And it's funny that I'm giving advice to people who have a strong family household and had two parents in the household. And you just never know where this character building phase is going to take you. And you don't ever know in the actual moment why you're going through the things that you're going through. When I was younger, I didn't really know why I didn't have everything I wanted, why I didn't have all the financial means to do what I wanted to do. I didn't have the right mentors, the right people around me sometimes to allow me to see the bigger picture. But I was blessed enough to have my brothers, and they've helped me more than anyone in my life, as well as my mom, my grandparents, and everyone that's so close to me and my family. I'm thankful for that, and everything happens how it needed to happen, because I wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't have the likes, the taste, the interest that I do without my family. So I thank them for that. So we have to realize all the insufficiencies and all the things that you didn't once have were just only building you to become the best character that you could be. And they're all experiences that you had to go through. I'm not sure if you guys have played video games, or if you do currently or in the past. I'm sure you know that when you're playing a game, you need to get a certain amount of points, experience points, to actually level up. So all these things that you're going through are just experience points in retrospect. And when you could see it that way, whatever you're going through, you don't allow it to really bog you down, because you know it's just like, all right, I guess something's on its way to me, that I need to go through this to even know how to handle what's on its way. It's actually a blessing to have insufficiencies and not have everything given to you and some things taken away. You see athletes, you see celebrities, you may know someone who's been given everything without them really working for it. They haven't experienced any hardships, and they lose it all. And they lose it all because they weren't taught on how to keep it. They don't know the value of what they're even dealing with. They weren't taught on how to keep those things. They weren't shown on how to have a financial knowledge. They weren't shown how to respect and treat the people around them. So they're not skilled enough to even keep people, money, relationships in their lives. But on the other side, what you have to realize is all those experiences were meant to break that person down. Everything is meant for that person. If they came in with all this money and they lost it, it's meant for them to lose it, because they have to learn. Everybody is just here to learn. It wasn't meant for them. If an athlete or celebrity, whoever it is, came into some money, someone won the lotto and lost it all, it wasn't even meant for them. It was meant for them to have at that point in time. But in reality, they were just someone that needed to be put in place to transfer that wealth elsewhere, to transfer that knowledge elsewhere. They were just a bank wire in a sense. My family didn't come from the most affluent background. They weren't financially given anything. Everything that my family has, they've worked for, and it's just a great system, because from the top down, my great-grandmother, she actually instilled in my whole family just values that we keep to this day, that they're so well put, and we may not even know that we're ingrained with it all. But these values just literally take over our lives, and whoever comes in contact with my family, they're always spoke of highly. And it's because my great-grandmother always walked around being a giver and making sure everyone around her was in a good place. If they needed to have some food, or if they weren't fed, she made sure she showed up at the church at the time with a trunk full of goodies for people every time. She sat front row. And my family and I, we'd always go to her house and just sit there in her big living room and talk. And those memories will never die. And it's crazy to think that my great-grandmother, she was born without much. What you have to realize is her mother's mother was a slave. You have to realize these slave times have not been too far behind us. It was like, my family tree only goes back to like 1850, because that's all the records show. And it's just been a character building phase. I mean, you could look at the success of the Black culture, the music, the sports, everything that you see, it's almost taken over by the Black culture. And why is that? It's because they were literally started with nothing. And like I said, with the divine paradox, with so much insufficiencies on one side, the natural laws are going to allow that person to shine in a whole other light, because they weren't once given, they weren't once handed everything. In those times, they were having to come up with hymns and songs when they were in the fields and being slaves and things like that. And they always found a way to see the better in things, always had clarity, always had a great perspective no matter where they were. And you could look back on that and realize that your situation isn't that much harder. It's way less harder than it ever was. And you should be fortunate to even be able to come here and be born into a world where there's so much information, so much help, so much people out there willing to help you. Books, all the knowledge, it's all around us. And anything that we're experiencing, it's like we always have a way out. I want you to know that whatever you're dealing with right now is molding you. Either it's how to treat others, how to help the less fortunate, how to have a better relationship, how to give your gifts to people so that the world could be a better place. You're learning how to do that right now. The culture right now is showing a lot of people are entitled, and a lot of people think that they can make what they want to make, be who they want to be because they got the recipe. But what they're lacking are the ingredients. They don't have the ingredients, they don't have the people, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wisdom to even attain or even try to make what they have the recipe to. You could give someone the recipe, but it does you no good, does them no good if they don't even know, if they don't even have the proper ingredients on how to make whatever they want to make. And I feel like what I find so much enjoyment in is giving the people the ingredients through wisdom and things that I read to get what they want. And you have to humble yourself to realize that you don't have everything that you want to have. Like, I don't have everything in my kitchen to make everything that I want, but I'm going to figure out how. I may go to the store, I may have to do something to go about making that what I want. And you could see that same analogy in life. It's like you may not have everything that you want. You may have seen someone else has it. You may have seen the Pinterest, whatever it is, but you're going to have to go about acquiring those ingredients somewhere. Either those be relationships with people, either that be the books, the wisdom, going to school, getting an education on whatever it is that you need to do, but you need the ingredients to be and make what you want to make. Allow 2020, 2021 to burn off all the dead wood that you've been carrying. Allow it to burn off all the insufficiencies. You've had the time to sit with yourself and realize, like, this is no longer serving me. So allow this to burn it off. Like, you probably don't even have the want or the desire to do some of the things that you used to do because you're realizing, like, I really don't need everything that I once had. I don't need to be going out all the time. I don't need to be drinking all the time. I don't need to be smoking all the time. I don't need just to be socializing all the time. There's power in stillness and knowing yourself, and you could learn a lot during this time. You're leveling up right now. You're about to hit a new level. It's like a Super Saiyan. I'm not sure if you guys have seen Dragon Ball Z. That's one of my favorite shows growing up. But I love what that show depicted is like everyone started at a certain level and everyone was able to level up to a point. And they got to a point where they were called a Super Saiyan, and they would rise in strength and wisdom and be able to perceive things differently. And I see life as no different. And in that show, what also happened, when they would level up, they would become Super Saiyan, and they would be in a crowd with other people who were on their same team, and they were leveling up. They were then able to collab. They were able to collab and be a Super Saiyan. There was like two people called Gohan and Trunks, and they came together in their leveled up forms and formed a new character called Gotenks. And life is no different. When you collab with other people in their leveled up forms, it's literally like magical, and it makes you want to level up even more because you see someone else doing it and you're like, wow, we could really do something big if I were to level up and teach the other how to level up. Then we collab, and sky's the limit. And the world will always keep you in a phase of leveling up, and it's almost never ending if you let it be. It's time to now be mature and get off the battlefield. focus on winning the war and not the battles. There's some things that we have to compromise on to actually win the war in our lives. There's no need to win every quarter, every game, every argument. You just got to focus on the big picture. You're just trying to win the ship. You're just trying to get that championship. You're just trying to win the game. And even in the game of chess, you have to literally give up pieces. You have to put the pawn here, the knights here. You have to be strategic and be willing to sacrifice some things in order to win the game in the grand scheme of things. Sometimes you have to compromise to win the wars in your life. You may lose some things. You may lose some people. You may lose some relationships, but realize this is a game of chess, and you have to be willing to put some pieces in front of the others and allow them to be sacrificed in order to get what you want. And it's a crazy game, but that's the life that's been designed for us. But see it as a game that you actually get excited about. Plot out your next move so that those internal battles, those negative people, the influences are already defeated by your strategic planning ahead. When you plan ahead, you're actually allowing yourself more freedom to just automate everything. They say a path to freedom is a beautifully designed system. So allow yourself in the acquiring of wisdom and going through this character building phase as a time to plot out your next moves. Allow 2021, 2020, allow these past years and the present to be a time that you could actually plot out your next moves, and allow the people, allow yourself to actually thrive in this time, because a lot of people aren't even moving the chess pieces right now. A lot of people are just scared, waiting on things to get back to normal, when who's to say what really normal is, but a lot of people are still thriving right now. So I just wanted to make this episode and drive a point to let you guys know that whatever you're experiencing in this whole entire world and reality in the grand scheme is going through a character building phase. A lot of people are now a lot more appreciative of the little things. They're actually eating at the table with their family. They're actually spending more time with their kids. They're actually building relationships. They're actually getting to know themselves. They're actually having more time to read. So when things get back to normal, things aren't going to be what we thought they were and what we were used to, because a lot of people are going to come out leveled up, and we're going to have to deal with the new versions of people and not who we once knew. But that's exciting. That's exciting to me. But I'm going to conclude this episode on that point. If you guys resonated with anything I said, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review on the podcast platforms, whatever you listen to. Leave a comment on the video on YouTube, and just know that I'm excited for everything going forward. And if you guys want to get some new merch, there's merch on the website. I'll post the links on whatever platforms you watch or listen to. If you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me on how to level up and personally help build your own kingdom, if you're ready to actually become who you think you could be, the character that you are trying to mold, I'd be more than willing to help you guys. On that note, as always, my player ones, just know that a belief may be comforting, but only their true experiences have become liberating. Grant yourself permission to level up. Until next time, it's your boy Salem. I'm out.